In a highly anticipated showdown that captured the attention of fans worldwide, Mike Tyson delivered a powerful performance, knocking out Jake Paul in just 3 rounds. This monumental match not only showcased Tyson's legendary boxing skills, but also marked the dramatic conclusion of a controversial uncle-nephew relationship, all while earning an impressive $35 million in revenue. The clash between the seasoned former world champion and the social media sensation had been brewing for months. Both fighters engaged in a war of words, with Tyson's experience and raw power set against Paul's unorthodox fighting style and influencer background. Leading up to the event, the sports world was divided, and with fans eagerly debating who would come out on top, the battle-hardened Tyson or the cocky, confident Paul. As the fight began, Tyson wasted no time, immediately taking control of the ring with his trademark combination of speed and precision. Within the first 3 rounds, Tyson's punches were too much for Paul to handle. After a series of brutal exchanges, the legendary boxer landed the decisive blow, sending Jake Paul to the canvas and securing his victory. Tyson's dominance reaffirmed his place among boxing's all-time greats, while Jake Paul was swiftly reminded of the steep challenges faced when stepping into the ring with a true veteran of the sport. Following the fight, both fighters addressed the media, revealing the personal toll the match had taken on their relationship. What began as a family bond now seemed to have been irreparably damaged by the rivalry. Tyson, visibly emotional, expressed his disappointment over the aftermath of the fight, stating, "This was a tough decision for me, but it's one I had to make. Family or not, stepping into the ring with a real boxer was never going to end well for him. But I wish Jake nothing but the best moving forward." The match not only solidified Tyson's enduring legacy as a formidable force in boxing, but also cast doubt on Jake Paul's future in the sport. As the young influencer learned the hard way that boxing requires more than just social media hype, the aftermath left many questioning the role of celebrity boxers in the sport and whether Paul's ambitions would continue after this sobering loss. But ultimately, it was about respect, both for the sport and for my legacy. Family is everything to me, but at the end of the day, I'm a boxer, and I had to do what I've always done, fight. Jake is a talented guy, but this was never personal. It was about proving that experience and skill outweigh hype and influence. Jake Paul, on the other hand, took a different approach in his post-fight comments. While acknowledging Tyson's immense skill and experience, Paul seemed frustrated by the outcome, but expressed gratitude for the opportunity to face one of boxing's most iconic figures. "I came into this fight with a lot of confidence, but I now understand the importance of respecting the craft and putting in the years of work that Tyson has," Paul admitted. "This loss hurts, but it's a lesson. I'll come back stronger." The aftermath of the fight was not just a sporting moment, but a reflection of the shifting dynamics between Tyson and Paul. What started as a seemingly playful challenge from the younger Paul had escalated into a full-blown rivalry, with both sides feeding off the drama and the media frenzy. Yet, as the fight concluded and the dust settled, the emotional toll became clear, particularly for Tyson, who seemed disheartened by how the relationship with his nephew had evolved. This clash, however, was more than just a fight for pride. It was a moment that bridged the worlds of traditional boxing and social media fame, highlighting the increasingly blurred lines between the two. Tyson's performance showed that despite the rise of new celebrities in the fight world, the legends of boxing still hold an undeniable edge. For Paul, the loss marked a turning point in his career, a humbling experience that might redefine his approach to both boxing and his public persona. With both men going their separate ways after the match, the story of their relationship remains uncertain. What's clear, however, is that this fight has left an indelible mark on the world of sports, one that will be remembered for years to come. And for Tyson, it was another reminder of his greatness, securing his legacy in the boxing world while marking the end of a chapter in his personal life. As for Jake Paul, the journey continues, albeit with a newfound respect for the sport he so bravely tried. Boxing discipline, experience, and technique still reign supreme. Tyson's victory also reinforced his timeless status as one of the most formidable figures in the history of the sport, capable of dominating even in a matchup against a younger, less experienced opponent. For Jake Paul, the fight was both a setback and an opportunity for growth. While the defeat was humbling, it also provided him with valuable lessons on the level of commitment and sacrifice required to compete at the highest levels of boxing. Paul's journey in the sport has always been a mix of spectacle and serious ambition, and this fight was a stark reminder of the challenges faced when stepping into the ring with a true legend. The fallout from this fight also sparked a broader conversation about the intersection of sports, celebrity, and social media culture. Many critics and fans pointed out that while Paul's rise in boxing has been fueled by his internet fame and larger-than-life persona, it's clear that the fight game requires more than just a viral following. Paul's bravado was met with Tyson's raw power and experience, and the contrast between the two underscored the difference between a social media influencer and a seasoned, world-class athlete. In the days following the fight, both Tyson and Paul found themselves reflecting on the personal and professional ramifications of their public clash. For Tyson, the fight represented not just a physical challenge, but an emotional one as well, given the deep personal connection he had with Paul. His remarks about the difficulty of facing a family member in the ring revealed the emotional weight of the contest, something many spectators hadn't fully anticipated. For Jake Paul, the loss could mark the beginning of a new chapter in his boxing career. He's shown resilience in the past, bouncing back from setbacks, and this defeat could be the catalyst for a more focused, disciplined approach to the sport. Whether or not he can come back from this setback remains to be seen, but if his history in the ring is any indication, he's not one to back down from a challenge. This fight, though short in duration, has had long-lasting implications. It was a stark reminder of the power of legacy in sports, the importance of experience, and the very human side of competition. While Tyson's victory added another monumental chapter to his legendary career, it also marked the end of an era in his personal life. The uncle-nephew bond, once strong, now seems fractured, but the lessons from this fight will resonate with both Tyson and Paul for years to come. Experience was a wake-up call. While he had built a reputation for his bold antics and trash-talking, this defeat highlighted the reality of stepping into the ring with someone who has decades of experience. Paul acknowledged the loss as a crucial moment in his boxing career, expressing that he needed to return to the fundamentals of the sport. He vowed to train harder and refine his skills, stating that his journey in boxing was far from over and that setbacks like this were just part of the process. "I'm not going anywhere," Paul said. "This defeat won't define me. I'll be back stronger and more focused. Tyson showed me the ropes, and now I have to prove myself." The financial success of the match, with a total earning of $35 million, cannot be overlooked. The fight not only generated immense media attention, but also served as a perfect example of how the world of boxing has evolved in the era of social media and celebrity matchups. The mix of traditional sports and influencer culture brought in a unique crowd, blending both hardcore boxing fans and casual viewers from the digital space. This hybrid model of boxing entertainment is likely to continue as more social media personalities turn to the sport, seeking to leverage their fame for lucrative bouts. As for Tyson, the victory was more than just a financial windfall. It was a reaffirmation of his greatness. At 57, Tyson showed that despite the years and personal challenges he's faced, his skills and instincts are as sharp as ever. His return to the spotlight in such a dramatic fashion also solidified his place as a mentor and a legend, not just in boxing, but in popular culture. The fight marked a crossroads for both men. For Tyson, it was the closing of a chapter in his relationship with Jake Paul. And for Paul, it was the beginning of a more serious and introspective phase in his boxing career. Despite the tensions and the fallout from their personal connection, both men gained something invaluable. From the experience, Tyson reaffirmed his legendary status, and Paul learned the hard lesson that in boxing, it's not just about talent or fame, but about dedication, grit, and respect. The match may have been the culmination of a high-profile rivalry, but it also set the stage for the next chapter in both of their careers, leaving fans eagerly awaiting what comes next for both these fighters. The broader cultural landscape. Tyson's win proved that even in a world dominated by influencers and viral moments, the power of experience, discipline, and raw athleticism cannot be easily replicated. Despite the media attention surrounding Jake Paul's rise, Tyson's performance reminded the world of the timeless nature of true sporting greatness. The match also sparked significant discussions about the ethics and dynamics of celebrity boxing. Critics pointed out that celebrity matchups, while entertaining, often lack the substance and integrity of traditional professional bouts. However, supporters argued that they bring a new level of excitement and accessibility to the sport, attracting a younger, more diverse audience. Tyson's involvement in such a match may have been seen by some as a departure from his boxing roots, but it was clear that his motivation went beyond just the paycheck. For Tyson, this was about proving to himself and the world that he still had what it takes to dominate in the ring, regardless of the opponent. For Jake Paul, this fight represented a humbling experience, but also a defining moment in his boxing journey. While the loss was tough, it served as an important lesson in humility and the harsh realities of combat sports. It's clear that Paul, who has shown immense dedication and ambition in his boxing career, will continue to pursue his dream, using this loss as fuel to improve and grow as a fighter. As both Tyson and Paul move forward in their careers, the aftermath of their fight will continue to resonate in the world of boxing and beyond. Tyson's victory not only cemented his legacy as one of the greatest to ever step into the ring, but it also marked the end of a chapter in a controversial and complex relationship. For Jake Paul, the fight was a setback, but one that will undoubtedly propel him to work harder and face even tougher challenges in the future. In the end, this fight wasn't just about two men in the ring. It was about the intersection of sports, celebrity, and the evolving nature of modern entertainment. It raised questions about what it takes to be a champion and how the influence of social media can shape the future of sports. Whether fans are drawn to Tyson's legendary career or Jake Paul's rise to fame, the legacy of this fight will undoubtedly continue to spark conversation for years to come. The complex relationship between him and Jake Paul, what began as a highly publicized familial connection, turned into a bitter rivalry, leaving both individuals to reflect on the personal and professional costs of their clash. Tyson, with his characteristic introspection, acknowledged the difficulty of fighting a family member, while Paul, despite the loss, expressed his determination to learn from the experience and keep fighting forward. The fight may have been a defining moment for both fighters, but it also illuminated the evolving nature of combat sports in the age of social media. The blend of traditional sports and influencer culture creates a unique and sometimes controversial space in boxing. As fans and critics debate the merits of these celebrity matchups, one thing is clear: both Tyson and Paul understand the spotlight and the attention that comes with it. Their fight, while part of a new wave of celebrity-driven bouts, was also a reminder that in boxing, no amount of fame can replace the experience and skill required to succeed in the ring. For Tyson, this match served as a reminder of the legacy he's built over decades, one of power, precision, and determination. His performance was a testament to the fact that while his prime may be behind him, his skills remain unmatched by many in the sport. Tyson's victory was not just a win in the record books. It was a statement that, despite his age and time away from the ring, he still has the heart of a champion. For Jake Paul, the defeat marked a new chapter in his boxing career. His ambition and confidence remain intact, but the lesson he learned from Tyson's crushing victory will undoubtedly shape his future endeavors in the sport. Whether or not he can bounce back remains to be seen, but his resilience and willingness to continue fighting suggest that his journey is far from over. In the end, the Tyson-Paul fight was more than just a spectacle. It was a reflection of the evolving dynamics in the world of sports and entertainment. A new generation of fighters is emerging, one that blends the worlds of traditional athleticism and modern celebrity. And this fight, with all its drama and intensity, stands as a symbol of that shift. Paul's journey is far from over, and his loss to Tyson may serve as the catalyst for a more focused, disciplined approach to boxing. While the loss was tough, Paul has always thrived on challenges, and this setback will likely fuel his drive to improve. As he continues to carve out his niche in the boxing world, Paul is determined to prove that he's not just another social media star. He's serious about competing and growing in the sport. As both Tyson and Paul move forward, the impact of this match will linger. Tyson's place in boxing history remains secure, but this fight, along with the emotional toll it took, might shape how he's remembered in the future, not just for his achievements in the ring, but for his willingness to step into an unconventional match for the sake of closure and family. For Paul, this fight was a valuable lesson in the real challenges of boxing, and his resolve to continue training and improving will likely lead him to future matches where he can prove his worth against other seasoned fighters. This fight, like many celebrity boxing bouts, was more than just a sporting event. It was a reflection of the cultural intersection between sports, entertainment, and social media. While it's unclear whether this trend of influencer-driven boxing matches will continue to dominate the landscape, one thing is certain. The fight between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul was a moment that will be remembered for years to come, not just for the outcome, but for the dramatic personal and professional stakes that were on the line. The spectacle of the match, paired with the emotional complexity of their relationship, turned it into a defining moment in the evolution of celebrity sports, evolving world of celebrity boxing. It was a clash of generations, with Tyson representing the old guard of boxing, a seasoned fighter who has seen it all, and Paul embodying the new wave of influencers turned athletes, pushing boundaries in ways never before seen in the sport. As the dust settles and both fighters move on with their careers, this fight will continue to spark debate about the legitimacy of celebrity boxing. Is it a true sporting event, or is it simply a spectacle designed to draw attention? Regardless of where people stand on that issue, what's undeniable is that Tyson versus Paul captured the public's imagination and generated significant revenue, signaling that the future of boxing, for better or worse, will likely involve more crossovers between the world of traditional athletes and celebrity culture. For Tyson, the fight with Jake Paul was a return to the spotlight, a reminder that despite the passage of time, his presence in the sport remains as powerful as ever. While he's not likely to return to a full-time boxing career, this match was a way for Tyson to remind the world of the warrior he once was and, in many ways, still is. His dominance in the ring, even at his age, solidified his legendary status. For Jake Paul, the road ahead is one of reinvention and redemption. He may have lost this battle, but his story is far from finished. With his eye on future bouts and an ongoing commitment to improving his technique, Paul has shown that he's not afraid to take on the toughest challenges, no matter how daunting they may seem. In the end, the Tyson versus Paul fight wasn't just about who won or lost. It was about two very different individuals stepping into the ring, each with their own motivations and dreams, and putting it all on the line for a shot at glory. The legacy of this match will be remembered for its emotional weight, its spectacle, and the way it encapsulated the fusion of traditional sports with the world of modern-day entertainment. Just about a boxing match, it was a cultural event, a moment where sports, entertainment, and social media collided. It highlighted the shift in the world of combat sports, where stars from different walks of life are crossing into the boxing ring, blurring the lines between athlete and influencer. Whether you're a fan of traditional boxing or the spectacle of celebrity matchups, this fight will go down in history as a moment that captured the attention of millions and sparked conversation across the globe. For Tyson, it was more than just a victory. It was a statement that no matter the era or opponent, his legacy in the sport remains unshakable. The knockout over Jake Paul wasn't just about securing another win on his record, it was about reinforcing his place in boxing history. Tyson's experience and grit proved that in the world of boxing, experience still reigns supreme. For Jake Paul, despite the loss, the fight was a turning point. It may have humbled him, but it also reinforced his desire to keep fighting and growing as a boxer. His journey in the sport is still in its early stages, and while this defeat stung, it's clear that Paul is more determined than ever to learn from his mistakes and come back stronger.